Amanda Ruler's here. Overall badass. That's what you said you want me to introduce you as?
I'm sticking to that. Yeah, I would say that.
Weightlifter, former pro football player, you name it. Back to that comment, because you have some thoughts on Andrew Harris. And Tom, here's the official comment from Tom Geiger, one of our viewers. He says, I said it last night. Andrew Harris had the opportunity to say the right thing, and he didn't. More than once. A humble Harris would be forgiven by all. Me, not now. I don't have a problem with Andrew Harris, but you do.
Definitely. I think this hits me a little bit harder as an athlete myself and somebody that's not being paid to be a professional athlete. In my sport and the sports I've done for my entire life, competing on Team Canada, I've been held to a higher standard. So even if I test positive for a small trace of anything under WADA protocol, which is the World Anti-Doping Association, I would be suspended for almost up to 4 years. So I think it hit me really hard when he was only suspended for 2 games. Yes, there's some controversy if he did cheat or not, but they did find a trace amount and he was only suspended for 2 games. So I think I'm mostly upset that it was just a 2-game suspension for a professional athlete when I, myself, am trying so hard to be clean, watch everything that I put in my body, and I get tested quite a bit. Athletes in my field get tested quite a bit, and all these professional athletes, football players are coming out, oh, they tested me 3 times, they tested me 5 times. That is standard protocol. So I think to me, why am I being held for a higher standard for what I'm doing for my sport than these professional athletes?
And you're not even being paid.
And I'm not being paid.
And you're a national level competitor.
Yes, national level competitor trying to compete for Team Canada, represent my country on the world stage. And these athletes, I think that's what bothered me the most about this situation. No matter if he got caught or not, like he got caught, or if it's true or not, he still got caught for that small trace, whereas I would be banned from my sport for several years.
Well, this is interesting because JR in Cranbrook just writes in, he says, Amanda, get over it. You're not a pro. And I say, what's the difference? Should there be a difference? Pro or amateur?
Yeah, no, it comes down to the league a little bit. I mean, to me, it's a league issue, right? Holding your athletes to a little bit of a higher standard.
Either you care or you don't.
But yeah, it is. I mean, it is. It's exactly what it is.
Should it make a difference,
That's right.
Amanda?
I'm not a pro. I'm not being paid. Actually, if you look at the definition of Olympic athletes, they're not professional athletes.
Right.
So why am I being held to a higher standard than Andrew Harris? Why is the CFL holding these pros to we're just going to give them a 2-game suspension? That's almost sending a message out there saying, all right, well, do what you got to do because we're only going to suspend you for a couple games.
Give it a try.
Well, that's why I read his comment, because I think it is rude, JR. I wanted to give you the opportunity, Amanda, to explain what you just did.
Yeah.
Her question is, why are, what should I say, international amateur athletes and national athletes held to a higher standard than pros?
Yeah.
So just furthermore, do you have a problem with him winning most outstanding player of the game, most outstanding Canadian?
I do.
You do?
I do. I don't think that was fair. But that's just my opinion. You can definitely think I'm wrong for that, but I think just because for me in my situation as an athlete, you wouldn't be eligible.
I can see it as an amateur athlete. It bugs you because he's sitting here getting paid, and when he gets hit with it, it's only minor. He still gets to come back in a couple of games, play in the championship, win all these awards. You would be sitting there for 4 years, and as an amateur athlete, 4 years can ruin a career. The one thing that I take away from this too is putting it into context. If I'm the Bombers, or if I'm a Bomber fan, or if I'm Andrew Harris, don't be upset. Like, it's kind of over because your punishment really wasn't that stiff. And being tested 3 times, 5 times, 6 times sounds like standard protocol.
Very standard, yes.
Yeah, there's no pity party there. But he won and he's eligible, and there's 2 sides.
Again, he's on the podium as the star of the game, ripping all the haters. And it made me uncomfortable. I want to cheer for the guy. But for all the reasons Amanda's just said, it's not necessarily right. And for the last month, I've been saying to the Bombers, what are you upset about? Mm-hmm. Like, again, you don't get to decide what the punishment is. Now, Daniel Langley writes in, he says, people forget that Speedy B tested positive a while ago for PED.
I don't forget that.
And was able to still win the most outstanding player this year. Lots of issues here. So as we bring in Keon Raymond, my opinion has not changed on this. And that is, I don't know why we're testing for PEDs at all. I see it not dissimilar from pro wrestling. I don't think fans of pro wrestling care that the athletes are on steroids. They don't. The quote that I said before, and I'll use it again, people want to eat the hot dog. They don't want to know what's in the hot dog.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.